y'all, it's Amy from the Harris Homestead, and today I want to share with y'all everything I know about cloth diapering. I have learned a lot in the last year of our cloth diapering journey. I have a 1.5-year-old son who we started cloth diapering when he was around 6 months of age. Then I have a newborn little girl who is 6 weeks old who we're just now switching into cloth diapering. So I just want to share with y'all today some of the mistakes I made cloth diapering and some of just the tips and tricks I've learned over this last year that might help you if you are starting to cloth diaper your child. To begin, I'll just share with you the main types of cloth diapering. I kind of group them into 3 different groups: the all-in-one cloth diaper, the pocket diaper, and then the flats, covers, and pre-folds. So I'll show you an all-in-one. This is the closest diaper to a disposable. It's basically just all in one. You can add extra stuffing to this to make it a little more absorbent, but basically this is the closest diaper to a disposable. Now this is not what we use the majority of the time. Next, there are pocket diapers. Now we don't actually use pocket diapers, but basically it looks similar to this, except there's a little pocket right here, and then you would actually stuff the pocket with your liner. So this insert would basically stuff down into there and make like an absorbent pocket. And the third type of cloth diapering is covers, flats, and pre-folds. So this is the method that we use. So this is a cloth diaper cover. And then what we do is we take flats. I have a video tutorial on how I fold these. And simply lay the flat in the cover, and this is our diaper. So I love this method because I can just take out the flat and reuse the cover as long as the cover isn't soiled. So those are the main 3 types of cloth diapering, and the one we use, it's definitely going to be whatever your family chooses, how often you want to wash, and what just makes the most sense for you. The covers and flats is what works for us. There are such thing as pre-folds where you don't have to fold this, but I love that these are so cheap. And then I can also just use flour sack towels to fold this up. Again, I have a whole video tutorial on how to fold these if you're interested in this, using this method that we use. So I guess I'll just now jump into some of the tips I have for you and ways that has made this less intimidating for us. So first of all, cloth diapering is not as intimidating as it seems. When I first thought about cloth diapering, the main reason was for the money saving factor. I was tired of buying disposables all the time and knew that it was just kind of a waste, that there were so many diapers going into landfills, and it put a pretty hefty price tag on our budget. So when I first mentioned it to my husband, he was very intimidated by it, and I told him that I would make this as simple as possible. And to this day, he's a cloth diapering champ. He's great at cloth diapering. It's not as bad as you think, and even with all the flats and the folds, he actually has even learned how to fold these and sometimes helps me fold them, but really it takes like 5 minutes to fold about 25 of these. First of all, don't be intimidated about cloth diapering. If it's something you're really interested in, you can definitely do it. You can definitely get your husband and your family on board. Just go for it. You definitely have to change cloth diapers more often than disposable diapers. This is something that I kind of had to learn on my own. Though I had read it and knew that they were not as absorbent as a disposable diaper, I kind of just guess I had to see for myself before I actually did it. So there were times where I let my son go about 3 or 4 hours forgetting to change this, because again, we had been using disposables for 6 months, so this was a learning curve for me as well. And this would be completely saturated, and it did leave him a little bit red on his bottom. Thankfully, we have a homemade diaper cream that just cleared that up immediately. But you do have to change cloth diapers about every 2 hours, or your child is going to be really saturated. We actually still use disposable at night to this day. For the longest time, we did use cloth at night. I used bamboo, hemp. I would triple layer these things to make sure they were super absorbent, and he wasn't leaking out of his diapers. However, these were so saturated by the morning, his bottom would just be so red, and he started getting the best way to describe it is ammonia burns from his urine. And this leads me to my next point. We had to troubleshoot our water. So certain types of water will cause buildup and residue on your cloth diapers to make them not as absorbent. Hard water will cause buildup on your cloth diapers, and to neutralize that, all we simply do is add a scoop of borax to the washing cycle, and that completely fixes the issue, and our cloth diapers are good again. But for about a month there, we were having that issue and we just couldn't figure it out, and it was causing him to have such major red breakout. So it wasn't really a rash. It was just like almost like I said, a pneumonia burn from his urine. But thankfully we got that sorted out, and we just continue to use disposable at night since we just got in the habit of it, and it was just simpler, and just to make sure he wasn't sitting in any wetness at night, because he is a heavy wetter. The next tip I have, I actually didn't start using until about 2 months ago, and that is a sprayer and a diaper shield. So we actually got a little diaper sprayer that hooks on the side of our toilet. So whenever we have a dirty, poopy diaper, this is the most common question about cloth diapering, is how do you deal with the poop? We simply take the cloth diaper and spray it off. Now this works great unless you have a really, really extreme blowout, and when you use the sprayer, it wants to go across your whole bathroom. So that is when I invested in a diaper shield. This is a simple fix on Amazon, and I regret not buying this sooner. So basically you clip the diaper in the shield, and then it has these side walls that keep the poop and water from spraying across your whole bathroom and on your walls, and you just spray off the diaper. It goes into the toilet, and then you can squeeze the shield and wring out all of the water. I usually just let this dry over the side of my sink or my shower, and then throw it in our diaper wet bag. So that was another issue starting out, is what do we do with the poop? That was an issue for my husband. For the longest time, I handled all the poopy diapers and cleaning of them. He would just change it and leave it for me to clean the poop. I told my son's day sitter that I would handle all the poop, and she could just put it in the bag, and then I would spray it off when I got home. But we actually have the best day sitter for my son. She actually cleans all of his poopy diapers. So if you get a daycare or a day sitter that cleans your child's poopy diapers, count your blessings, because that is a big deal to clean another child's diapers versus your own. So I cannot say how blessed we are to have her as our day sitter. If you're watching this, thank you so much, Daily. My next point that I want to point out about poop diapers is they have these bamboo liners that I have not yet invested in, that I really, really need to. My husband and I mention it all the time that we needed to start getting the bamboo liners. Lay the bamboo liners on top of your cloth diaper, and when your child poops, you just lift the liner away and discard of it. Now, some of the poop will probably get on the cloth diaper and you'll still have to spray it off, but it just minimizes a lot of the mess. And this is something that I'm probably gonna go buy today. I've seen so many people recommend it. I just haven't purchased it yet. To be honest, our poop diapers aren't that bad usually, and we typically know when our son is gonna poop, so we can catch it pretty quickly before it gets smushy and all smeared in the diaper, and just rake it into the toilet. On rare occasions, maybe once or twice a week, we have a full diaper blowout where it's all up in here and you have to really spray it off. But for the majority of the time, I didn't really see the point in buying the bamboo liners. It was just one more wasteful thing I had to buy and throw away, when I'd rather just use the cloth diaper and wash and reuse. Here lately, we're at that toddler, 1.5, almost 2-year-old poopy diaper stage, and they are getting more intense, fuller diapers, and I really am thinking I want to invest in the bamboo diapers. Now, my daughter, who is only 6 weeks old, is still completely breastfed, so her poop can literally just be thrown straight into the wash and rinsed away. That is one thing. If you are a breastfeeding mom, you don't have to rinse the poop. It is completely water soluble, so that makes newborn cloth diapering even simpler. So I will point out that we are trying a new method of cloth diapering with her. It is by a company called Assembly. So basically, I guess you would kind of call it a mix of an all-in-one and a cover. So this is like the part that she actually wets and poops, and then this gets thrown straight into the diaper wet bag, and then this can be reused. So this is like a cover. I could also easily stuff it with a liner, but I'm loving the Assembly brand. We are just now starting cloth diapering with her, and this is apparently a pretty new company that it wasn't around when my son was cloth diapering. So this is her cloth diaper setup. So far, we've only been cloth diapering her for the last couple of weeks. She's just now fitting into these. Somebody woke up and wanted to be in the video. So basically, our wash routine is pretty basic. I use the 2 products from Branch Basics, and then I cannot say enough about the power of the sun. It will pretty much get out any stains, no matter how old they are. So I'd say every 2 to 3 weeks, when I wash diapers, I dry them out in the sun on a clothesline, just to let any stains get sun soaked away. And it's pretty miraculous how easily the sun just removes the stains. So the Branch Basics combination keeps most of the stains out, but there's sometimes a really, really nasty poop stain that will just come right out in the sun. So that is the basics of what I've learned cloth diapering in this last year, and moving on to year 2 with our little girl. Hopefully our son will only be in cloth diapers for 6 more months or so. We are starting to slowly potty train. I will add that we only used about 10 to 15 covers over the course of the last year with my son, and then about 20 to 25 flats. These have to be changed every time you change the diaper, but the cover does not. And we only washed every 2 to 3 days. So these are just a few tips and tricks I've learned over the last year of cloth diapering. This is not a full extensive cloth diapering video. I may do one of those in the future of how I do dirty diapers, how I wash them, how exactly to put them together. But this is just what I learned in the last year, and I hope that it might give you some encouragement and make this process a little less intimidating if you were looking into cloth diapering. Thank y'all so much for watching today.